Hello, I'm David Richards, and I am currently a jazz musician here in New York City. This is my second career after playing professional baseball for 18 years. I have spent the last year of my life pursuing music in the best city in the world. I've met fantastic people, created great relationships, really learned a lot and grown as a musician and a person, and I really want to share this with you in my full-length feature documentary called Big City Players. That's Hall of Famer Rickey Henderson and myself in 2004, in the last year of a baseball career that didn't make me rich or famous, but I loved it. Growing up, there was only one thing I loved just as much as baseball, and it was music. I always knew that someday I'd be a professional musician. But how did I end up here, New York City, playing with some of the best musicians in the world? What does it take to be successful in this business? Is it about the playing, or is it about relationships? My friend Gil Paris is a Grammy-nominated guitar virtuoso. He's also friends with ex-baseball player and current jazz guitarist Bernie Williams.
Going over to our friend Gil Paris's jam session tonight.
After a 30-minute drive with my bandmates Neville and Tommy, we make it to a small club in White Plains, New York. Gil's core band for the jam includes some great players tonight, including Bernie Williams. They'll play the first couple of tunes and then open it up for some of the other guys that showed up.
What's up? Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
My name's Gil Paris. I'm a guitar player from New York.
When was the moment you knew you wanted music to be your life?
From my first lesson. The first time I picked it up, which was age 8 or 9, I never wanted to do anything else.
Okay, so how did you get into music at the professional level?
First time I got written up in a magazine was in 1990. Was in Guitar Player, and back then there was a guy, Mike Varney, who had a spotlight column, and a lot of famous players, Frank Abali, Scott Henderson, hundreds, Greg Howe, were in that, and it was sort of a prestigious thing at the time. And from there, things sort of took off.
Not only is Gil a great guy, he's a great player. He's one of the top sidemen in the business, and he's got fantastic solo albums of his own. I asked Gil and Bernie how they connected.
Yeah, I used to, it started about 6 years ago. I used to come here after, playing the games. Over there at Yankee Stadium, I would come by and have a few drinks after the game before I would go home. And about 6 years ago, they started this sort of open mic jamming concept here. And this is probably about the first time that I saw Gil play. And the first note that he played, I was like, wow, man, this guy is serious.
Bernie, have you ever played with anybody that struck you out before?
Not music though. Well, maybe some jam at the All-Star game or something like that.
This is going to be the first time tonight.
Okay.
It was 1990, and I struck you out in Albany.
I am looking forward to that though.
We all got a chance to play that night, and it was awesome to play with Gil. And it was great to finally connect with Bernie. I came up with the idea for this documentary because when I first was pursuing music in the city, I found that the most important part of being a musician in New York City was about relationships. After a great session the night before, I was up early on a train to Long Island to visit my friend Richie Cannata at Cove City Sound Studios. Richie's an icon in the music business, but more importantly, he's a quality guy and a really great friend.
Hi, my name is Richie Cannata, and you're here at Cove City Sound Studios today at my recording studio here in Glen Cove. You probably know me more as a saxophone player and I've been doing it for a bunch of years, and I love what I do, and we've been having this great run of success for a good 35 years of making music.
Richie's sound and talent was one of the key ingredients to the millions of albums sold by Billy Joel. I asked him about relationships and music.
Relationships are an emotional state, and the relationships that I have with some of my close friends are musicians, such as Julio Fernandez is my probably closest friend, as he has been my friend for 25 years, and we're very close. We talk to each other just about every day, and we'll call each other before a gig, after a gig, and he called me after he was with us on Monday night, and that relationship was, after 25 years, we talked as though we were 15-year-old kids. And we also played that night as if we were 15-year-old kids. We left nothing on that stage. We gave it all. Nice to see you without yeah, and without a saxophone and without a trumpet. It's different today, isn't it?
You are a musician?
Yes.
And you also are somebody in the music business?
Yes.
Direct from the La Bistro Club at the Holodome in Wichita, we bring you Pizzazz. Hello, and welcome to On Stage. I'm your host, Frosty Lawson.
A 35-minute bus ride to Jersey took me to the home of my talented friend Frosty Lawson.
This car, by the way, I want to tell you something, has been in 4 separate film projects. Hi, I'm Frosty Lawson. I'm a professional musician, an educator, a Civil War reenactor, an avid martial arts student. Welcome to the dungeon. Yeah, and then believe it or not,
Frosty was a young man from Kansas who moved to the East Coast to pursue his dreams of music and performing. He's a versatile musician and producer and has done just about everything you can do in the business.
And I'm in the music 24/7. Love it. I've never felt like I worked a day in my life in this business, because if you love what you do, it's never work.
I wanted to know what or who was his inspiration.
Any one individual, that's almost an impossible answer for me. I can't really attribute to one individual or one event. It was a combination of people at various times in my life and the music that was happening at that time. That really affected the directions, because I didn't go one direction, the directions that I went in music, because I have several different paths that I'm simultaneously taking right now.
In need of fast cash? Looking to sell your gold, but don't want to get
Frosty is also an actor that has found himself in a variety of roles. But music is always at the root of his creativity.
I love this Sherry.
His playing inspired us for an impromptu recording session in his basement studio. Frosty's accomplished some amazing things in his career. But he understands the value of friendships and relationships and knows that music is just the bonus.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
I first met Bill Galino warming up backstage for a gig. We have become great friends and have been gigging together ever since. I decided to visit him while I was in Jersey.
What a surprise! What are we doing here today? I didn't win the sweepstakes. What's the call for?
Sweepstakes. Yeah, I thought I won the sweepstakes.
You did when you met me.
Bill is a classic piano player and performer. They just don't make them like that anymore. He played with Doris Day, Sammy Davis Jr., Donald O'Connor, and Bing Crosby.
When the twilight is gone.
This is my cat. Her name is Tuxedo, and she's a really nice girl. Don't get too close; she bites. She's like all the women in my life. All right.
He definitely calls me for gigs so we can make each other laugh.
So far, I haven't done a whole lot down.
He's one of the funniest guys you'll ever meet.
Keyboard down here, and I have a PC down here, but I have a Mac upstairs.
Bill is a well-educated jazz musician and has great chops. He's played some huge gigs, but he's also played some that he'd like to forget.
When I was working on the Rotterdam, and we went into rough seas, and I had just bought I bought a new amp, and I had a new keyboard I bought at that time. I think it must have been my first DX7, and I paid all this money in the city that previous Saturday. But anyway, we got into rough sea, and we were all told to go to our cabins, and I went back up there to see the ship go up and then go down, and the Steinway piano and my DX7 and my B15N and all my equipment went out, across the floor, through the glass, down the deck and into the water. I think that was the worst night of my career. It was the most depressing night, and I had no insurance or anything, and all my gear just went right out the window and right into the Atlantic Ocean. They had this 9-foot Steinway that at that time they had just bought for $118,000 out. It knocked down pillars. It knocked, all the tables were connected to the floor, knocked all those down, went through the window along with my DX7, along with everything, down across one deck, down to the deck below, and blew right out to sea. Never saw it again.
Bill Galino keeps swing alive, and he just flat out loves to perform.
Thank you. That was really a thrill.
So, Frosty, I don't drink. I don't think there's any law against drinking and diving. I have to give him a trumpet. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. 4. Okay. So here's all my clothes. I bought these racks were brought from my old house, which was a really nice, wonderful home in Jersey. And then I've got my hats. I'm kind of into hats. It's weird. Your relationships in music are so important, and if there's like a 99.9% of my relationships in music are so positive. And if there's any negative stuff, I eliminate that, or I don't get sucked into that. So basically, we're hauling ass down there. It's cold as hell. And if you don't, you're gonna miss out on opportunities. Keep the mouthpiece in the pocket so that you're ready to roll. You're not digging for it. It's Monday night and we're heading down to the East Village to the bitter end. Richie's been having a jam for 25 years. This is the place where we go to get a little playing in and to hang out with some really good friends.
Hey, David.
Brother.
What's going on, man?
Nice to see you. Big man, how are you?
All right, Dave.
Cool. Hey, the Mets need a pitcher, brother. Yeah. You'll find everybody in here, from the aspiring musician to the seasoned pro, to world-famous players. It's one of the first places I came in the city, and Richie and everybody are just great. I always enjoy playing with all the guys. And all of us end up gigging together at one time or another. It's a great vibe, and we always have a lot of fun. It's kind of a place for everybody to let off some steam from the week. I've met some of my best friends in music there, and it's definitely a unique experience. I get a text from Ted that there's a jam session at Matt's apartment in Harlem. I call my buddy Tommy, I head over and check it out. One of the amazing things about New York is that impromptu sessions like this can happen at any time. And this is an apartment where 3 professional musicians that moved from Australia live in. They have jam sessions all the time, and I played out with most of these guys. I managed to reach out to all the different scenes: jazz, pop, funk, rock, and traditional jazz. My very close friend, Tommy Morimoto, is a fabulous sax player with an amazing work ethic. We played together at least 20 times in the last couple months. We started a group with an amazing bunch of musicians. After the day session, we go to Tommy's good friend Bob Mover's gig. He's called Tommy and asked him to sit in. Bob Mover's a big name in jazz. Definitely one of the guys holding jazz together. He's played with everybody, but I asked him about his biggest gig.
I can't say that there was one gig. I mean, I have beautiful memories with a lot of people. I mean, I had some duet gigs with Walter Davis Jr. that were wonderful, some gigs with Chet Baker that were great. I mean, there was just Ira Sullivan. I mean, I had some nights with Art Farmer and Tony Castellano, this piano player I used to play with, was just wonderful. I mean, I've just been really fortunate to know so many great musicians and have so many great nights of music that I really am happy to say that I couldn't name one.
Tommy's still a young guy at 28, but he's been in the city for years. He's played with Steve Miller, Dave Brubeck, and many others. He's a very talented musician that works very hard.
Oh yeah, it's a great time. It's really an honor to be on stage with guys like Bob and Mr. Steve Williams. All right. And to see Steve Williams and hear him play.
Tommy's got a reputation for being a super nice guy and a great player.
Oh, thanks, Mr. Williams.
Mr. Williams, stop, man, Steve.
God. Oh, all right, Tommy.
Yeah.
Being a great player is not how you make it in New York. Being a great person and a player is how you make it in New York. Tommy's got a huge future. Over the next 8 months, I'm really looking forward to working with him. It's going to be a great journey with tons of surprises. I don't know how I got here, but it's time to make it happen. I like that one.